All right, what's up guys? Today we're in the F10 M5 and honestly this car, it just hit 100,000 miles. So now I'm at a point where I got to think, man, what am I going to do with the M5? It's at 100,000 miles. Am I going to keep this bad boy? Am I going to do the maintenance that I need to keep this car running? Should you buy an M5 with 100,000 miles? Let's talk about it. So like I said, man, we just hit 100,000 miles in the 2013 BMW F10 M5. And I've had this bad boy for a couple years now, man. I bought it when the Corvette C6, when I was doing a bunch of work on it. And I really bought this thing to fill the gap in terms of what I needed for horsepower, but also having some extra room. You know, the F10 M5, it's nice. You've got the back seat, you've got the extra room. This is really, truly a luxury vehicle. And they called it the business jet when it came out. And I can see why, because this car definitely has the room to do some business. And also, this thing's fast, man. It's almost 550 horsepower wheel from the factory, and BMW was pretty conservative with these cars, so they make really, really good power. The twin turbo 4.4 liter V8, it's not to be slept on, but there is a lot of maintenance that you got to do with these bad boys. And for me, I've got some maintenance coming up, and I've got to decide what to do with this one as it hits 100,000 miles. Now, the biggest drawback about the M5s and a lot of M3s and stuff is that BMW actually recommends doing the rod bearings at like 80,000 miles, man, and that is a couple $1,000 job. That's not just changing the oil or doing the rear diff or anything like that, man. That's an expensive job. So that's one of the biggest downfalls is you've got to think at higher mileage with the BMW, you've really got to take into account doing the rod bearings. And another issue that I've started running to on my M5, which is absolutely devastating, but happens to these M5s, is the valve seals start leaking. You'll start getting a little bit of oil smoke after some idle, and this car is doing it now. And it's super frustrating because it is not a cheap job, man. Doing the valve seals on this car can run 6 to 10K depending on what else you do. And if you do the rod bearings when you're in there also, man, you're looking at a 10K plus job. It is not cheap. So the worst part about the F10 M5 especially is that it depreciates quickly because the maintenance on this thing is so expensive. Now, I'm going to do the work to it just because I love the F10 M5, and I know it's a losing battle money-wise, but there's really not another car that I want right now, at least not for the next couple years. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of just trying to save up. I might get a C7 Z06, maybe get a C8 Z06, who knows? I'm going to keep the C6 always. Love the twin-turbo vet. Never doing anything with the twin-turbo C6. I'll have that baby forever. But for the F10 M5, it's not necessarily a staple of my arsenal, but as I've driven it more and more and more, I really like the car. There's really nothing else out there for me to get. Cars are expensive right now, so I'm probably just going to keep the M5, do a little bit of work to it, be good to go, man. And one thing I've really considered while it's in the shop too is go ahead and building the engines, putting bigger turbos on it, changing the injectors, upgrading the fuel pump, and making this thing 800 horsepower, 750 horsepower wheel. These things can make a lot of power, a lot of power potential, but also a lot of potential for maintenance and a lot of cost there, man. So if you're looking to get an F10 M5, just know the maintenance is not cheap on these cars, but they're great cars, man. If you got a few $1,000 set aside and you're ready to do some maintenance on something, get something with some higher miles, I'd say go for it. For the F10 M5, if you're buying something with 100,000 miles, I would try and get it for around 20K, nothing more, just because the maintenance on these things is pretty crazy, man. Appreciate you guys watching. If you're a fan of fast cars, BMWs, twin turbo Corvettes, cars in general, make sure you like, subscribe. I'm trying to grow, man. I appreciate you guys. We'll see you on the next one.